we are going to start this new chapter, that is The Journey Begins. First of all, we have to see here that The Journey Begins, it is adapted from the novel which is Around the World in 80 Days, and it is written by Jules Verne. Now, getting into the text, getting into the story, what is the story actually about? Here there is a person, or we can say that hundreds of years ago there was maybe no transportation, or we can say less means of transportation was available. So the kind of time which would be taken by a person to cover the distance to go from one place to another place, what would it happen at that time, and now what is the difference? Okay, so that is all about the story. And in this text, what happens, there is a person whose name is Phileas Fogg, who is a very punctual person. Okay, he is one such person who abides by time, who is always on time, who reaches if I'll just give an example. Here also you will find that when he leaves the house or closes the door of his house and reaches somewhere else, so the point when he reaches, people can know the time by his reaching at that place. Am I able to explain you? When he reaches at that place, people can be sure that the time is right now at the particular. Okay, suppose he reaches somewhere at 11:15. So when he reaches there, people can know that it is 11:15 at that time. He was so punctual. That means people did not have any clock, but people could refer to Phileas Fogg to find out about the time. He was such punctual person. And also to remind you that this text which you will be reading, The Journey Begins, this is just a short part, okay, from the main novel, that is Around the World in 80 Days. And actually it was written in 1873. Now when the story opens, or as we are starting to read this story, we get to know about the character of Phileas Fogg. He is a very punctual person. He reaches everywhere in time, and people refers to him to know about the time. That's how he is. Okay, and we also get to see the usual routine or the daily routine of Phileas Fogg. That is what he does. He generally shuts the door of his house, and he moves straight to the Reform Club, okay, for breakfast. And when does it happen? He shuts the door of his house at exactly 11:30 in the morning, and he leaves from his house and he goes to the Reform Club. And on the arrival, when he reaches to the Reform Club, he goes straight to the dining room, and there when he reaches, he sits at the usual table. He always sits at a particular table, okay, and the people or the managers, or we can say the waiters, they also know that the person Phileas Fogg is going to come and sit at that usual place only. Okay, so that is the thing, and he takes his place at the usual table. And let me also tell you that when he goes and takes the table, or he sits at the table, before that itself the breakfast is kept ready for him, because he was a very punctual person. So you can just imagine what the kind of punctuality or the idea of punctuality that is related with the person Phileas Fogg. Okay, and the breakfast was already late for him, which was already kept ready for him. And after he has done his breakfast, he is given the food, the liquid food, okay, which he completes, and then he leaves the dining room at exactly when it is 31 minutes left to become 1, okay, 1 p.m. Then from there he comes out of the dining room and he moves towards the reading room, and there, after entering, he is handed a copy, okay, of the Times, that is the newspaper. And after he has finished reading the Times, that is till 3:45, Then what he does is he reads the Standard. Okay, that might be a magazine or any novel. So he starts reading that and he keeps himself occupying it till the dinner time. Okay, and after the dinner is over, he again reappears in the reading room when it is 20 minutes left to become 6 p.m. Okay, after he has done with his dinner, he comes back to the reading room and sits there at exactly when it is 20 minutes left to become 6. And then half an hour later, what happens, the other members of the Reform Club, they come and they joins him. And when they come, it is found that a fire was burning and Fogg had already taken his place. As you all can see here, there is a picture in your next page that he is sitting here, and just behind you can see the fire is lighting quite steadily. It is lightened up, and the person who is just sitting in front, that is Phileas Fogg. Okay, so he has already taken his place, and you also can see that the other members have also come here and they have joined Phileas Fogg. So now what happens, the other members, they have come and joined this person Phileas Fogg, and now we get to know about the members. Who are these members? What are the names of them? There are 5 members. Okay, and another Phileas Fogg is also a member. So actually there are 6 members in total, including Phileas Fogg. Okay, since he is also one of the member of the Reform Club, so there are total 6 members. So how many are there? We already have Phileas Fogg, then we have Andrew Stuart, who was an engineer. There were 2 bankers, who were John Sullivan and Samuel Fallentin. Next was Thomas Flanagan, who was a brewer, okay, who deals in the liquid food, in the import and export of liquid food. And then lastly we have Gauthier Ralph as the director of the Bank of England. Now they have gathered in, these are all about the introduction of the members of the Reform Club. Now why have they gathered in? They talk about various topics. Today, or the story when it starts, what they start talking about, or what is their topic of discussion? They are talking about a robbery. Okay, I hope you all know what is robbery. So they are talking about a robbery which had happened at the Bank of England. Okay, and again to remind you that Gauthier Ralph is the director. Okay, he is involved in the authority member of the bank. And also we have John Sullivan and Samuel Fallentin, who were also bankers. They also worked in banks, maybe as employees. Okay, so they were all talking about a robbery which had happened at the Bank of England. So basically what had happened, a robbery had happened at the Bank of England, and the room of the principal cashier, okay, the principal cashier, where he used to sit, from his table, or from his table, around the value of 55,000 pounds had been stolen away by the robbers. Okay, this is one thing. And after the members of the bank, okay, the employees or the officials of the bank, they have discovered about this topic, or they have discovered about this news. What happened is, they had hired detectives. Okay, they had hired detectives, and then those detectives were sent to various parts of America. Okay, they some of them were sent to Liverpool, some to Glasgow, some to Suez, Brindisi, New York, and various other. Now what happens is, detectives were hired and they were asked to keep a close watch to those persons who would be coming and going away by rail, okay, to London. Now that is the thing, all these things had happened, and all these things were being talked by the various members of the Reform Club. They were discussing about this matter. that will the thief be caught or not. And also one more thing is here to mention is that the Daily Telegraph had said, or it was informed, or it was published in the newspaper, that a well dressed gentleman had been observed going to and fro in the room where the crime was committed on the day of the robbery. And also it is said that in the room of the principal cashier there is obviously supposed to be a CCTV camera, which is a very normal thing in banks and other areas also. So that person, a person, okay, who was dressed very nicely, a well dressed gentleman he was, he looked a well dressed kind of person. That person was continually uh, evident in the camera, in the CCTV camera, moving to and fro, or moving again and again, moving out and in and out of the principal cashier's room. Okay, so that was a kind of doubt, that might have created a kind of doubt in their minds. So this is it about, and his description, the way he appeared, or the face texture, the sketch, we can say, that had been sent to the detectives who had been in various parts of America. Okay, so this was the topic that they were talking about. Now what happens, everywhere people were wondering that if the thief would be caught or not. Even this was a topic, this was also a doubt by various people, that the thief would be caught or not. So to that, Andrew Stewart, you remember, the engineer, okay, Andrew Stewart, he had said that maybe or the chances are in such that the thief may not be caught, because the world is big enough. Okay, there is quite a lot of chance that maybe the thief will not be caught. But to that, Ralph, he says that where can he go to? Even if he is able to move to some other place, if he is not able to be caught, at least somewhere there will be a place he will go and hide. Okay, and there, everywhere the detectives are there, everywhere the people are there to catch him. So he will not be staying free for a long time. He will be caught at least somewhere, because no country is safe for him. Everywhere the detectives are there. But as you can see, they are all discussing about it. But Andrew Stewart, he says that you might think so, but I think that the world is quite big. Okay, it is big enough, you will not be able to catch him. Now, the main situation it arises that Fogg, okay, our Phileas Fogg, the main character of this story, the journey begins, he breaks in and he says that you think that the world is quite big enough. No, it was once upon a time. The world was big or bigger once upon a time. Now it is not. But Andrew Stewart, he does not understand, and he questions that, what do you mean by once? Has the world grown smaller now? Is it that the world has become smaller? Do you mean that? But to that, Ralph also says that yes, I also agree with Mr. Fogg that yes, the world has become smaller, but Andrew Stewart, he is not convinced in any way. He does not want to accept the fact that the world has become smaller. Actually, the world has not become smaller, or it is not that the world was bigger. Okay, nothing has happened in that way. The world is the similar as it was. It is just that hundreds of years ago, okay, or maybe we can say in the past time, when the means of transportation was not available in abundance, okay, it was not enough at the past time. But right now, if you see at our present time, it is quite available, and we have lot of transportation means. Okay, if we have to move from one place to another, we can reach within a very short period of time. And aeroplanes are already there. Just in case an example I'm giving, if you have to travel from one place, just for example, from Guwahati to Kolkata, if you want to move by train, it will be taking maybe enough of days. 1 or 2 days or 3 days, whatever it is, it will take a lot of time. Okay, it might take days. But if you want to travel, okay, if you want to use a better means of transportation, if you use the aeroplane, okay, you will be covering up the distance within some hours. You can complete it within some hours. So that is what Phileas Fogg was trying to say, that the world was once bigger. Now it is not, it has grown smaller. What he tries to mean is that the transportation are available for which the distance can be met up within a couple of minutes or within a very short period of time. That is what he tries to mean here. But still, Stuart was not convinced by this idea. He thinks that he was continuing this with Ralph. He was saying that you think that you can complete the whole world tour within 90 days. So, okay, I challenge you to complete it within 90 days. If you can complete, then it's good. Actually, what he was trying to say to Ralph is that the way you are trying to prove is it is very usual. You are in that way. Okay, Ralph, he says here that Stuart was not convinced and said with a short laugh, you, Ralph, have a strange way of proving that the world has grown smaller. So, because you can go around it in 3 months, you are saying in this way that maybe you can go around the whole world within 3 months. So, he was trying to mean that. It is not, it cannot happen in that way. But to that, Phileas Fogg, he broke in and he said that it will not even take 90 days, it will just take 80 days. Okay, within 80 days it can be done. And next he gives a list of the traveling system, okay, which is mentioned here. You just can go through this, and at last he mentions that in total it is going to take 80 days. He has made all the estimation. Okay, he has made all the calculation here, and then he says that altogether it's going to take 80 days to cover up the whole world. Okay, fine, it is going to take 80 days, but that does not take into account bad weather, contrary winds, shipwrecks, railway accidents, and so on. So, to that, Stuart says that, okay, let me believe that it will take 80 days, you can cover up the whole world within 80 days, but there might cause any kind of accident, there might cause any kind of misfortune. If you are traveling by ship, it might cause any accident. Any accident might happen in the railway side, there might be a bad weather, there might be contrary winds, many kind of thing might happen, many kind of misfortune might happen. Okay, we don't know that, we can't while we are making the journey, anything might happen. So that will still delay maybe 4 to 5 days. But Phileas Fogg, he replies that no, he does not accept the fact, he does not accept Stuart's saying, and he says that no, it won't be delayed. Even if any kind of misfortune happen, if any kind of accident happen, then also he can finish, or we can finish the world tour within 80 days. Okay, so he sticks to his idea. But by this time, Andrew Stuart, he had already become very, he was thinking that maybe Phileas Fogg was teasing him. Okay, so he was very disturbed by this time, and at last, or maybe we can say he was angered by this time, and he had said that, okay, I would like to see someone do it in 80 days. And he challenged. Stuart challenged about this fact that I would like someone to complete this. I want someone who would show me that the world tour can be completed within 80 days. I challenge. It can't be done. Actually, why he challenges? Because he accepts that it cannot be done. That's why he challenges someone to show him that it can be done. Okay. So, Fogg, he questions this, shall we go? So, okay, let's go then. He gives a suggestion. So, okay, let's go. But Andrew Stuart, he says that I wouldn't want to go myself. I won't go. Andrew Stuart, he says that he will not go. But he challenges someone to do this journey because he believes that this kind of journey is impossible. And if anyone would make this journey possible, then he will be giving that person 4,000 pounds. Okay, this is a kind of bet that is made by Andrew Stuart. He says, he challenges someone to do this, and he says that if anybody is able to do this, if anybody is able to complete the journey within 80 days, then I tell you that I will give that person 4,000 pounds. So Stuart is daring someone that you do it. So Fogg was ready to do this. This was too exciting a wager for him to resist. He was ready to take this challenge. When can you start? Asked Stuart. At once. Right now, Fogg was going to start. Okay, he said that he is going to start right away at that very moment. It's absurd. It's very silly, cried Stuart. Fogg seemed to be teasing him, and the teasing had gone on too far for him to take lightly. And actually, as I have already told you, Stuart was thinking that maybe Phileas Fogg was teasing him. Okay, see, the conversation had just started. Okay, they had all gathered in and they were talking about one such topic, and then they had got into a kind of conversation. And now you just imagine, the conversation has reached to such a serious level that the matter has been now on a point of challenging someone and getting money. So just imagine where the situation has led to. Okay, so Fogg was thinking in another way. Fogg was very serious at this time, but Andrew Stuart, he was thinking that maybe he was being teased up. Okay, someone was, or we can say here, Phileas Fogg was teasing him, but actually no. So lastly, he clarifies. Phileas Fogg, he clarifies himself by saying that I don't joke when I'm talking about such a serious thing as a challenge, replied Phileas Fogg solemnly. I claim that I will make a tour of the world in 80 days or less. He said that it might be over within 80 days, or maybe it might take a less time than even 80 days. Okay, so that is what he says. And then he says that I'm ready to do it, and also he says that it is to say that in 1920 hours or 115,200 minutes I will be able to complete the journey within this time. So do you all accept the challenge or not? Now you know the situation has totally turned. Before, challenge was given to Phileas Fogg, but now Phileas Fogg is challenging them that I am going to this journey. I challenge you that I will finish this. Do you all accept or not now? Okay. So Stuart, Fallentin, Sullivan, Flanagan and Rolfe, all the other members except Phileas Fogg, they all discuss among themselves and they accept, or they come up with a unanimous voice, that is, we accept. Yes, we are ready with that. So to that he says, good, Mr. Fogg, the train leaves for Mr. Fogg, he says that okay, it's good. So he gives a situation, or he gives the information that the train leaves for Dover at 9:15. I will take that. This very evening, right? Today, that evening, he Stuart asks. Yes, this very evening, replied Fogg, and he consulted a pocket almanac. What is a pocket almanac? That is a detailed calendar and yearbook that one can carry in a pocket. Okay, you will get about the details of the calendar, about the whole year, and that you can carry in your pocket. Okay, so that is a pocket almanac. And he added at last that today is Wednesday, 2nd October. Remember this thing, when does he leave and when he promises to return back. He says that today is Wednesday and 2nd October. And also remember, when he is about to leave, he is leaving at 9:15. Okay, so he leaves at 9:15 on the day of Wednesday, and it was 2nd October. And he will be returning in London in the very room of the Reform Club on Saturday, 21st December at 9:15 p.m. And also he lastly mentions that if I am not able to do that, if I cannot complete, then I shall accept defeat. So this is all about the information that is given by Phileas Fogg before leaving, okay, for the world tour. Now you might think that he will be able to complete it or not. So let's see the last part. Phileas Fogg, accompanied by his butler Passaporto. Butler is a manservant. Okay, so Phileas Fogg, he took his servant along with himself. His name was Passaporto. Both of them went around the world. Okay, completes the exciting journey around the world in exactly 80 days to the minute. Yes, the way he had informed, or the way he had challenged for himself that he will be completing the journey within 80 days, he had actually completed it in the exact timing. Remember, he had left for the world tour when it was 8:45 p.m. and he had come back to the room of Reform Club when it was 8:45 p.m. at exactly on 21st December, Saturday. He returns to the Reform Club when there are 3 seconds left for the clock to strike a 8:45. And not only to the minute, but also he returns 3 seconds earlier. Okay, so that is all about the story of The Journey Begins. The journey has begun, and now you can understand why the chapter is named in that way. Okay, The Journey Begins. And also we get to see that how what kind of a punctual person he was, and how timely he managed everything. And basically from this chapter we have seen that how strictly he abides by the time, he manages the time, and he keeps his word. Okay, he gave a promise. Okay, or he said that he is going to accept defeat if he does not complete, but he actually completed. So sticking to your word is what we can also learn from here. More or less, even if this seem impossible to us in some way, but sticking to your word, okay, abiding by your word, what you have promised or what you have informed, is what is one of the basic lesson that we also can learn from here. Okay, so that is all about this chapter, The Journey Begins. Hopefully you have understood about it. So that's all. Thank you.